Hi, my name's Susan Bonner, and I'm the Director of Marketing for CarDon and Associates. Based out of Bloomington, Indiana, CarDon and Associates owns and operates 20 senior living communities throughout the state. So welcome to our Senior Resource Hub, where your senior living questions are answered by industry experts. Today, I'm happy to say that we have with us Jessica Lindsay, who is the Executive Director for LifeSpan Companion Care. Jessica, thank you so much for being with us today. We're excited to have you. I know there is such a great need for companion care services, and would you just start by telling us a little bit about Lifespan Companion Care and the type of services that you provide?
Yes, thank you. I'm happy to be here. And the type of service that Lifespan Companion Care provides are non-medical in-home caregivers. So what we do is we hire and train caregivers that can go out into the community and assist people who have any type of daily needs, either in their homes or in assisted living or other senior care communities. And the caregivers come for a scheduled amount of time, and they can help with activities like bathing, dressing, light housekeeping, companion care services, like participating in meaningful activities if there's a hobby that someone enjoys. We can also do errands and transportation to help with people who are not able to drive anymore, and just making sure that they get to their medical appointments, get the pharmacy, get their groceries. So oftentimes I say think of our caregivers as almost like a surrogate family member. I know that many people in the community help support older adults within the family, but they may have a work schedule or other responsibilities where they just don't have the resources to be there. And we can come in and fill in those gaps with our caregiver and be those eyes and ears in the home and communicate back with families how things are going and, any health condition changes and just anything we can do to help people be successful at home.
I know just even firsthand, I've been through this with both of my parents, and it's truly a godsend when you have somebody that can help your family like that. Can you kind of paint a picture for us of maybe who a good candidate is for companion care services? What does that look like?
Yeah, oftentimes people are calling us because they've had some kind of change in their health condition where maybe they were able to walk around and do things on their own, but recently they've been having more falls. Or maybe there's been a change in their cognitive status and they're having difficulty remembering to take their medications. So usually when we become aware that someone needs services, it's because recently they've gone through a health change, and this support in the home might be able to help redirect them from having to go into the hospital or go into a care setting where they have more supervision. So anyone who's experiencing those changes in the home would be a good candidate for our services.
Sounds like a wide range of people can benefit from those services, which is fantastic. Is there a minimum amount of time, Jessica, that people need to contract for if they would like to engage services with Lifespan Companion Care?
Currently, we don't have a minimum time frame as far as a number of hours per week. We do prefer that the scheduled service is about 3 hours as a length of time. And that's mainly because our caregivers want to be able to devote a significant amount of one-on-one time for that person when they are there, versus having a caregiver going from person to person throughout the day. So we find that that time frame is pretty good in order for us to be able to go in and really have a good connection with that person in the community and meeting their needs.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I know when we had a caregiver for my mom, that relationship, she was in an independent living apartment, and we had someone coming in, and that relationship between her and the caregiver was very, very special. So it does make sense that you want to dedicate a little bit of time to that. Um, and then another question people might wonder about, Jessica, is paying for services. How do most people pay for these services with you?
Well, currently we are accepting private pay clients and people who have long-term care insurance policies. So those are the two primary ways that people are paying for services to date. We're also actively in the process of applying for Medicaid waiver services. So that would allow us to provide care for members who participate in that program. And in the future, we also want to be able to provide service to our veterans through the various veterans programs that they have. And I'm happy to talk to anyone who calls about how we can have services paid for, or if they would be able to benefit from some of those other resources. My background is actually in social work. So if there is a way that cost feels like it could be a barrier, I'm open to talking about how those other options can be pursued and the steps that you would take to do that.
Great information. Thank you so much. And then you kind of led right into that, but can you tell us how somebody would reach you at LifeSpan Companion Care if they were interested in your services, and what might that process look like for bringing somebody onto your services?
Yeah, I would say the primary way to contact us would be just a phone call. Our offices are open Monday through Friday, 8 to 4. We do have an 24/7 on-call texting line. And that's how we stay in touch with people who receive services in the evenings or on weekends. But either one of those phone lines would be a great point of contact. And if you're just looking for additional information about the care and you want to check out our website, you can go to lifespanservices.us and then just click the link for companion care. And I'll run through those phone numbers real quick so you have them. If you were to call and talk to someone over the phone, 317-333-8240 is the main line. If you prefer texting, 317-333-8241. And kind of the way the process works is we have an initial conversation over the phone just to kind of screen, find out a little bit what's going on with the person who is interested in services. And from that point, we can set up an in-person, in the home interview. And that just that process is for us to see the person in their environment, establish a care plan and a schedule, and then, of course, complete the paperwork. Most of that can be done within a 24-hour time frame, even sooner if you have an immediate need. We're able to do some of that, over the phone or through virtual calls like this. So it's a really easy process. And once you contact us, we kind of walk you through step by step.
All right. Sounds like you make it easy for people, which is good. So we will put that contact information on the screen. And Jessica, thank you so much for being with us today. It's a much needed service, and we appreciate you being with us.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm looking forward to those calls.